this seems to be a really well talked about topic in my family. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I want to talk about Fitbits versus Apple Watches, because this seems to be a really well talked about topic in my family. With that being said, if you're interested in knowing my opinions about both, clearly I am wearing an Apple Watch right now, but I'm gonna talk about that. So stay tuned and let's get started. All right, so Fitbits versus Apple Watch, which one is better? Well, I would say they're both really good. Some people prefer Fitbit, some people prefer Apple Watches. The reason for that is I have no idea. Personally, I have had both. So I was a die-hard Fitbit fan. Like, no one could get me to not use my Fitbit. My dad gave me my first one. He had it, he didn't like it, he wanted a better Fitbit, so he gave me his first one, which pretty much just tracked steps. So then eventually I was like, okay, well, I need something else. I need something a little more. So then he got me another Fitbit that tracked, like, what did it track? I'm pretty sure it tracked like sleeping patterns. I think he got me the Ulta, which is just like a really thin band. I don't have it anymore because I lost it. It fell off my wrist and I lost it, and I was without my Fitbit for like 2 weeks and I went crazy and I hated it. I couldn't track my steps, I couldn't track anything, and I was just like, Dad, please get me a new Fitbit. So he shipped over the newest Ulta at the time. This was like a year and a half ago, which was, I don't think it was not waterproof, and that was something that was huge for me because I'm constantly in the water. I'm a swimmer, I played water polo, I still love to swim, I'm a coach during the summer, so to me it was so bad that it was not waterproof. They do have Fitbits that are waterproof, and if you are always near water, I suggest having them, because I definitely jumped in the water at least 3 times with my Fitbit, and then I looked down and it was like, oh crap. Luckily it was totally fine. It had no like problems or anything afterwards. It was really useful, but that was my biggest problem with my Fitbit, and that was the Ulta. I don't even know if they have a new Ulta, but the last one I had, neither of my Ultas ever had waterproof. My friend's Fitbit though, I'm not sure which one she had, but hers was waterproof, but it didn't have like a screen. It only had like tallies once you hit the mark, or once you hit the 10,000 step mark, which I thought was really cool, but I still needed something that was waterproof and had a screen. So then I was at work and most of my coworkers had an Apple Watch, and I was super against it. Like, the second Apple Watches came out, I was like, I'm not gonna have an Apple Watch. Like, screw that. I already have an iPad, I have an iPhone, I have like 2 Mac computers. Like, who needs 2 computers? So I was like, I am not gonna fall into the Apple gimmick and get an Apple Watch, because I clearly have already done that too many times. So then what happened? I walked into the Apple store because I went to go buy an iPad for my cousin for his birthday, and I come out with 2 iPads and an Apple Watch, and neither of the iPads were for me. One was for my mom, one was for my cousin. But the point of the story is I came out with an Apple Watch after I was so strongly against them. And the reason why I was so strongly against them was because I was already like so deep into Apple products. I was like, I'm not gonna be that person who has everything Apple, but I am that person. Do I think there's anything wrong with Fitbits? Absolutely not. I love Fitbits. They worked so well. I had them for like 3+ years. You also got to keep in mind that I was that kid in like PE in 5th grade who used to wear a pedometer just to make sure I got my steps in. And I used to have like a collection of pedometers when I was little. I was just in love with them and thought they were the coolest things. So when these watches started coming out, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get into it. So that was a Fitbit. And then at the end of summer, I worked my butt off. I got enough money and I was able to buy an Apple Watch. So I was originally gonna buy Series 1. Once I got to the Apple store, I realized that Series 1 was not waterproof. I was like, screw that, I am buying Series 2. Unfortunately, right now they don't sell Series 2. They only sell 1 and 3. There's very minimal differences between Series 2 and 3, so they just kind of cancel the 2 out. That's what a guy at the Apple store told me. I'm not sure if that's 100% true, but that's what the guy at Apple store told me. Mine is a 2. Because the 3 was not a thing once I got the 2. I got it in August. Yeah, August last year, so August 2017. And I absolutely love it. I love it because I can be on my phone without being on my phone. And that is something that the old Fitbits didn't do. Now, there is a new Fitbit coming out, which my dad is like dying to get his hands on. I'm not sure if it does all of the things that the Apple Watches do. I'm pretty sure it does not, but don't quote me on that. I haven't looked into it because I'm not wanting to buy one because I do love my Apple Watch. The Apple Watch also tells you the calories, like which I really like, and it, like, if you hit certain goals, it tracks all of your goals, which is really cool. I am getting a message right now on my watch. You get text messages, which are really nice. You can respond, and that's something that, like, at my job we're not allowed to have my phone, my summer job, so I can just like keep my phone around me, like tucked away in a bag, and I can use my watch. I can also like track swimming, which is something my Ulta didn't do because it wasn't waterproof, and I'm in the pool a lot, especially summer coming up. What else? The Apple Watch also does track your heart rate, which I think is really cool, but my Ulta also did that. The only thing that I do not like that the Apple Watch does not do is track your sleeping patterns, because I wouldn't say the only thing. I have 2 things. So the first one, it does not track your sleeping patterns, and I'm a crappy sleeper. So I used to use my Fitbit to track my sleeping patterns, and it was really helpful. It would help me know like which nights I slept best, which nights I didn't, how I feel, and all that. So the other thing that I don't like about the Apple Watch is the fact that I have to charge it every single night. The Ultas that I've had, and the first one that I had that I don't even remember the name of, I didn't have to charge it every single night. I could go like 4 days to like a week with it, depending on how much I used it, and I used it like every single day. So that is something that's kind of a bummer for me when it comes to the Apple Watch. But the charge lasts like all day. I usually will end up with like anywhere from 30 to 60% battery at the end of the day, and I use it every single day. I charge it every single night. But with that being said, there's only 2 negative sides to my Apple Watch that I don't like. There was the like not waterproof thing about the Fitbit that I had that I didn't like. So both have really good things, both have really bad things. For some reason in my family, this is like a constant battle of which one is better. I'm very pro Apple Watch, but I have nothing against Fitbits, whereas my dad is very like pro Fitbit and has everything against Apple Watches just because he doesn't like Apple. But I do love both. I think that if you're trying to start a healthy lifestyle, it is important for you to have either an Apple Watch or a Fitbit. I know some people do the Garmin one. I think I'm saying that right. You know, just something that you can track your calorie loss and Also how many steps you've taken. Mine also tells me how many minutes I've worked out. I know some of the Fitbits tells you how many like flights of stairs you've gone up equivalent wise, and I really like the heart rate monitor ones because it tells me when I'm in my fat burning zone, when I'm in like whatever like heart rate zone I'm in. So I really like that about it. If you are looking into either of these products, I suggest pick either one. Like, it's really not that big a deal, especially if you're getting started. If you're getting started and you don't want to make a huge investment like an Apple Watch, because it can cost anywhere from like $200 to like $400, $500, I do suggest that you get the Fitbits because they are a lot cheaper, especially if you're somebody who can't have like a watch, or like you feel weird having a watch. I don't know, some people are like that. I do suggest going for the Fitbit just because they are cheaper. But if you're somebody who's like really invested in working out and you like having your phone on your wrist, then I suggest that you get the Apple Watch instead of the Fitbit. There are pros and cons to each one. I personally like both. Like, if something were to happen to my Fitbit or to my Apple Watch, I know that I have my Fitbit that I can just throw on and before I get another Apple Watch, because at that point they're too expensive to just have like multiple on hand. If you're a beginner, you don't know what you're doing, go to Fitbit. And I also know people who are like super into working out and super athletic and they like Fitbit over Apple Watches. It's just a personal preference. Like I said, I really like both. I really have, like, probably most of the videos you've seen me in, I'm wearing my Apple Watch. So yeah, it's just a preference thing. Like, whatever you want, as long as you're doing well and keep going on that weight loss journey, like, you're good. So with all of that being said, I hope this video was really helpful for people who are starting out in a weight loss journey and don't know which product to buy, or if you just really have no idea which product to buy. Unfortunately, I cannot show you my Fitbit that I have because I left it at my aunt's house and that is in a different country. So yeah. But with that being said, if you have not yet done so, click the red button below to click the red button below to subscribe, and give this video a big thumbs up. Comment which one you like better, Fitbit or Apple Watch, and I will see you guys soon. Bye.